Yo, what is going on today, YouTube? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today, the patch just dropped, 10.11. We're going to take a quick look, talk about the patch notes, what you need to know going into it, and we're going to talk about, just really quickly, is it a good item that you need to try out, or is it just still a bad item and it doesn't really mean much? Let's just jump right in. 10.11, we're going to skip over the skins. If you want, you can pause and look at them, but I care about the actual balance stuff, and it starts here. It doesn't mean much for competitive or high-level ranked. This is just a change for low-level players. Demon Blade. Now, this is important. I've been trying this build out right now, where it is literally just Cyclone's ADC build, but instead of Fail Not, some characters just use Demon Blade better, so I've been just building Demon Blade on them. Obviously, if you're playing Turnabog, Apollo, gods like Artemis, where you want that Fail Not cooldown, go Fail Not. But for the auto attackers, I've been trying Demon Blade instead of that Fail Not. So it's just Cowl, Devs, Demon Blade. Sorry, Leader's Cowl, just to specify. Leader's Cowl, Devs, Demon Blade, Dom, Xe, Deathbringer. It is so powerful. It feels great. I think this item might become a solid item, or a solid replacement for Fail Not in non-Fail Not God builds. But we'll have to see once the actual good players try out the builds. Eldritch Dagger doesn't mean anything. Feels nicer. Doesn't change much. No. Erosion, you're building this item anyway. Doesn't change much. It's just slightly cheaper when you're building it. The range feels nice, but it doesn't change too much. I've not built much Odysseus Bow. This 5% doesn't really move me into wanting to build the item. I think crit is in such a strong spot. Also, mage is in solo lane a lot, so you don't really need kin size, and you don't really need, like, there's very few spectrals anywhere but support, so crit feels really good right now. Shadow Drinker, maybe as a second item, like a Jotun's into Shadow Drinker for double flat pen. It's enticing more now because Soul Eater got nerfed, which makes us feel better. Soul Gem, still bad. Soda Gaia, still bad. Alternate timeline. I don't think it's going to be bought very much, but I think there's going to be some games where it's an alternate timeline game and you'll maybe not win the game off of the alternate timeline, but maybe you'll change a fight and it changes like the direction of the game. But I think this change to alternate will be sneaky good. Soul Eater, you're building Soul Eater anyway. Like on gods that want this Soul Eater, you're still going to be building it. It's just going to come online slightly later. Pele's, Kama's, Pele, Kama, who's the other jungler? Rat. Those three still going to be building Soul Eater, I'd assume. Maybe Brawler takes the place of it, but not having cooldown on Brawlers, I think Soul Eater is still going to be the item you build. A Willix buff, she's already fine. She's a counter pick god. I don't think this changes anything with her. Cthulhu. Now, this is a big change. I think this will be a meta-defining character for Worlds and for the rest of this phase. This is crazy. This is crazy. He farms well into these solo mages. He also has dive potential into them. He's one of the few gods that actually can dive late game into these comps currently. Maybe mages clear so well right now that there's not a place for him, but I have a really good feeling that this character is going to be sick. Cupid. Hera meta too. This is an incredible change. This character is going to be insane. I would be surprised if Dardas is the only one playing her after these changes. I think she's going to be played by a few more mid laners. Hunbots, another character that I think actually got a pretty large buff. The MP5 change, really good. You don't have to go trans anymore. Somersault feels great in the early game, 13 seconds on the jump. And then Fear No Evil is now 200 base damage, level 5 instead of 120. That's 80 damage that you can get onto 5 people. Obviously, you're not getting 5 people, but even 3 people, that is an extra 240 damage, which is insane. Eshell, 10 out of 10. I'm excited to see this character played. I think she's one of the cooler characters, and I'm glad that she got buffs because we have not seen her, so she's going to be interesting to see. I think she's going to be sick. Maybe potential in solo lane because she has pretty good 1v1 potential, but she just doesn't match up into a lot of the mages right now. Kukulkan, this is like low-key a really good buff, and this is a nice buff too. I just think the character is just underwhelming when you compare him to other mages. Maui, again, I don't think this change really helps him. This is not Maui's weakness. You compare him to like Yemoja's. Actually, if we see some nerfs to a couple of the other mages or something to Yemoja, maybe he comes back as a next tier down. This maybe is the only reason. This doesn't really do too much. Neath, Osiris, Rat. This is nothing for Rat. This is not why you're playing Rat. You're playing Rat for the other acorns. I don't think these items are going to get bought even with the buffs. Scylla, we've seen a tiny bit of Scylla. Maybe Scylla comes back, but I don't think this is enough for her. And kind of the same with Sylve. This is a nice change. Doesn't really help him all that much. No. And then probably one of the most exciting changes in the entire patch, Uller is getting pretty heavily reworked. I think he's going to be sick. I don't think he's going to be OP, but I think he's going to go from a rarely played god to a middle of the pack god. Xing Chen, I don't know. I think the character is just not very good. His passive is pretty meh. His 1 is good. His 2 is meh. His 3 is meh. His ult is meh. This is a big help for Yu Wong. I would not be surprised if we see a little bit of Yu Wong in mid. Is he as good as like Baba? No, but he can be in the next tier maybe. Ganesh, after 2 weeks of dominating SPL, he doesn't get played at all this last week. I've got no fucking idea. And then Set gets a pretty big nerf also. Also another week of Set now also being kind of missing from pro play. Shinto played him once, but other than that, we did not see any Set, I don't think. But this is a pretty nice nerf to Set. But yeah, there it is. A little quick look at the patch. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.